And welcome back. Race 2 at Watkins, Glen, and round 6 of the World Super Touring Championship Season 3. What a day so far. Race 1 was quite exciting. Decent level of excitement as the track rubbered in. Top 3 were flying away, but the crocodile from P4 down left us with some very decent finishing positions, especially for Jason Thompson, P10, ergo P1 for race 2. Same for Wittmann, 9th, P2, but as we have seen in the past, the rear-wheel drive cars will get off the line better. It just depends if Thompson's going to be alert to that into the 90, which is of course turn 1 at Watkins Glen, and it's the NASCAR layout, as you can see in the top right on your screen. Hello again, Adrian Michael Rees, as per usual. Alongside me, as per usual, is Christian Shepherd. Welcome back.
Glad to be back.
And hopefully the repair of that Mazda 3 didn't take too long, Swinney, in the pits for us.
Nope. Fortunately, it was all cosmetics.
And therefore, no major changes necessary to go into race 2 either.
Nah, we just did the standard front-wheel drive thing of swapping the tyres over. But otherwise, yeah, we're good to go.
Job done for the brake, but job done in about 20 to 25 minutes time. Let's see what happens. Off the line, and already we knew it, kind of called it. First Alpha, second Alpha Duma, and potentially third Alpha of Fisichella down the inside for the 90. Maybe not. Thompson managed to get one back, and there's Lammers, Thompson's teammate, already looking to play rear gunner this time by. Hopefully team orders for this time, but here's another
already.
Fantastic rear-wheel drive starts, not just for Alpha but for Toyota right there behind. Lammers is on board, and you can see Butcher up to 6th as well, as they are side-o by side-o going into the loop.
Oh, that's a bit of a trust move, that is.
Thompson with the Honda power gets it back, as does Lammers. Look at that.
I think Whitman may have the outside just to run in. Should have the power now to get past.
Yep.
They do.
As does Ide. Here we go. And there's almost a 2-wide train heading to complete the lap.
Just to note that Fisichella is in 8th place at the moment. Schneider still in 10th.
Well, the BMWs didn't get too much of a railroading from the midfield, as they are still in their reverse grid positions off the start line, as is Nico Wirtz. Well, I say Nico Wirtz. We can see Butcher, who was 9th on the grid, will get to 7th, and there's Ingram on a mission. Not so much red mist from race 1, but there we go. Will there be red mist after that? That was a cracking move.
Opportunist move. I got through there.
Webber with a bit defensive there on Ingram. And there goes Duma back into his customary 6th place throughout race 1.
Ide up to 2nd. Butcher's now all the way up to 5th.
Ide is definitely up to 2nd.
Ide's got to be smelling that potential race victory, but Whitman wants to come back at him. Will they dive in? Quite.
So compared to Alpha, Toyota and Honda do have a very visible presence in the United States, and this is a good advert for them, having that battle on the east coast of the United States, as Ide with the fastest racing lap so far, as it was lap 2, first flying lap. Ingram up to 9th, there's Schneider, the faithful of Volkswagen. Salo in 12th.
You know how Wirtz will hold up as Ingram trying to go on the outside, not quite workable there.
Mazda's manufacturer presence in the States as well should stand them in good stead. It kind of did for race 1, that comeback from the back. Ide down the inside of the loop, into the lead. How do you like that?
thought she'd just drop. No, he's still in fifth. My apologies.
Wittmann, defending champion and all. Decent position for her. Ingram, almost too wide at the end of the outer loop there. Sometimes known as the carousel. Lammers holding up Butcher, in turn holding up Duma, and the works Alpha Fisichella.
That's Weber past Burts now.
You wonder why they're showing up right nothing at the back of the grid for both of them.
They can do quite well. Fisichella attacking Dumas with Weber right behind.
This will be a good look for the S's. It's still a solitary line up the hill. I don't think that despite Ingram's move earlier on, that the two Alphas are going to be formation flying through those S's. Butcher with a look down the internal Lammers. E.D. Thompson, Wittmann still in the top three, still spread out somewhat.
Weber up to 7th, past Fisichella. Here comes Fisichella. Got a bit of pace, that Alpha. Weber trying to make it work around the outside. Does make it work around the outside.
The ingredients were all there from race 1. We just know to still expect the unexpected. When we see moves like that. Weber, great move there. Now we need to dispose of Dumas to get more points. Ingram still in 9th there. The Honda Power doing well this time by, and Honda Power is definitely there, as we see with Thompson closing in. Is the move on?
Bit of a move. He did
a bit of a defensive, too conservative from E-Day perhaps, because that's down the inside of the loop now, the carousel.
He caught the grass. He caught the grass as he was going in.
From your perspective, you said the carousel, I'm going to have to go with that. I've seen track map saying out the loop here, but it is the carousel as far as history is concerned. And that was some great moves from Thompson right there. E-Day though. This battle is still on. I don't think it's going to be settled at all until the exit of the 90 perhaps. Honda Power, okay, Honda Power got there, but I'm surprised that Toyota didn't get that down quicker.
Slight Constantine effect with these drives. You're having to wait for the car ahead to accelerate, which means you're always going to be slightly behind, especially if you're that close.
So that means now Butcher's going to be mirroring the moves on Lammers, as is ED on the back of Thompson. Privateer train, there are Tamiya's and 3M's.
Here comes Ingram on the
here
back of
comes Ingram.
Got the slipstream, but does the master have the power? That looks like Weber's making a move on Dumas going into the corner. Don't know why we caught away there.
As Wittmann tries to get one on Butcher around the outside. Nope, okay.
Yes, because of way Dumas is now
still be on. That's happened. Weber's up to 6th. We still see in the background Ingram trying to do some trading with Fisichella. Swinny, for the last couple of laps, has been threatening. Ingram's been threatening that on the Fisichella for the last couple of laps, hasn't he?
Yeah, we've found now we've got some clear air, we can start attacking with the car.
So Whitman's down to 5th after the scuffle. And it's now meant that it's a Toyota and Honda top 4 at the moment.
The American arms of both brands would be very happy with this as Thompson closes in.
Here he comes. Here he comes. He's got enough? Not quite. Butch has passed Lammers for 3rd place.
That's the loop. And Lammers has already fallen back into the clutches of Wittmann, as is Webber. That's going to be interesting. Another lap at this place. Well, another 8 laps at this place. Race organisers have knocked it down to 16 rather than 17. They saw how low the sun was setting and didn't want to risk it. People need to get home after this race.
Yeah, including ourselves.
Alpha's still in the top 10. Definitely BMW in the top 10 as well.
Schneider's not made any real headway after getting back to 10th. Seems to just have dropped off.
Ede with the fastest lap, but has gone a 10th or a 100th quicker there. Ede now ahead.
It's been ahead for some time there, Adrian. At least over a lap.
Same for the 2 teammates further back, 3rd and 4th. But the other Alpha, the 3rd Alpha of Fisichella are starting to pull away from Ingram. Halfway, well, almost halfway there. Hard to see a straggler. But that activity after race 1. Some of the cars are starting to show some level of wear and tear.
And Ede's tyre screeching into that corner there. Seem to have lost him any time, but won't do any favours on his tyres.
Thompson only 2/10 off of Ede's fastest.
Ready for
the
bed there,
slipstream right there.
Yeah, currently Ede's fastest lap, a couple of tenths off Schneider's from the previous race. But it's all showing some genuine performance here. See, Fisichella is back ahead of Suarez. Sorry, Ingram, not Suarez. My apologies.
Yeah, that's been spread out for the last couple of laps. We saw Ingram almost on the shirt tails in the slipstream of the 3rd Alpha in the train, the 2nd of the factory cars, but that gap has been stagnant for a lap and a half now. Decent points haul for both.
Yeah, it's quite a gap back, isn't there, to Schneider there, seemingly. Very far back, just doesn't seem to have the pace at the moment.
Well, it's definitely comfort for Ingram. Kobayashi and Rydell getting some of the crumbs of the top 15 points with the 3M cars being a bit of a blocker for the rest of the field there. I think we are missing what I think is the 40th, the Palou Ford on home turf. Despite a win at Barcelona, that's definitely not a good look right there. Whilst your mass producing competitors from Japan with a decent American branch themselves ruling the roost right now. Italian Alpha in 5th. And that's kind of why we're here. It's a good advert for these brands outside of like a General Motors and Chrysler, who don't seem to have any attention in this formula, and why should they? They've got NASCAR to look forward to and sports cars to look forward to. But of the sort of budget, cheaply made cars, these are a good advert for them, and a good advert for the fans that have, well, turned out in great attendance. You can see them in the crowds there. I've been enjoying the weekend so far. Ede still leads.
You should have seen some of the face paint I've seen on some of those fans as well. They care about this just as much as any other racing championship.
Speaking of Mazda, yes, of course they would. A lot of MX-5s for one of the support races here. A lot of MX-5s. Speaking of 3 wides, there were 4 wide earlier. We were stunned, but decent approach from a lot of these brands. I suppose Alpha needs a bit of a push. Webber down the inside with a bit of a look there, but Wittmann still got it. Trying to cling on to the defence of the title. Not a good look all season for her in comparison to the rest of the field, compared to her teammate, also compared to the privateer car, the bright yellow one. Not far off Wittmann's sights either.
Looks like Thompson's just dropped off E-Day a fair bit now.
And that means E-Day didn't need to put another fast lap in, while why was the gap there? That looks very comforting with 4 to go. Still early days though. Ingram with a 69, consistent, but the difference in what a manufacturer can do compared to what I still think is semi-works, so there's not really a works Mazda ahead of them. Doing quite well considering.
Yeah, Lamberts has also dropped off in Butcher. Looks like the Hondas are slightly struggling at this stage of the race.
And there's going to be a battle. Look forward to through the penultimate left and the final right of this lap. Webber had to lift off there, as did Wittmann. Defensive from Lammers, but there goes Wittmann with a bit of an inside look. Is it going to happen? Bit of racing move from Lammers, bit of a biff and barge, but not enough to unsettle both of them. Decent bit of driving for both of them. Lammers, especially the rookie, hence the X on the back there. Wittmann knows this, and Wittmann's going to be perhaps respecting the decision that Lammers made deep down, but that meant that Webber was down the inside of Wittmann, as is Dumas, as we head up the hill once more, up the S's. This should be single file, but yeah. And whilst all that's happening, Fisichella and Ingram are closing in.
It's 3 Alphas astern at the moment now. Thompson is not quite getting well under call. Butcher.
This is a train on now. Butcher's starting to fall back. Webber down the inside of Wittmann and around the outside of Lammers. That's going to be on. This is going to be a bit of a power move from Webber if it pays off. But the line, I thought the line wasn't going to be there, but Lammers hasn't defended that one. Webber up to 4th, but he could be up to 3rd. Butcher needs to be awake for this. And he most definitely was that time by, and Lammers could get that back.
It seems to have slowed down Webber a little
there
bit.
We go.
Move again, the concertina.
Okay.
Thompson is really struggling now.
Thompson being the cork now as those tyres start to tire. E-Day still with enough of a gap there. It was kind of stagnant earlier, but I think it was all build up to this moment right here. The top 9, 9th to 2nd in one shot from the onboard of Thompson. Ingram has got Dumas in front of him as Fisichella's up to 6th. Here comes Butcher. Is the move going to be on? Whilst that's happening, I'm going to be looking further back there to see if we can see an Ingram, but there's a Butcher down the inside, up to 2nd. Toyota 1-2. Can they hold on for the last 2.5 laps?
I suspect E-Day will. E-Day's got a nice gap. But whether the Hondas will hold on, as they seem to be really struggling now in this last quadrant of the race.
I wonder if this was part of the plan, Swinney. Pick up the pieces of the top 10 if they make mistakes.
I mean, that's never part of the plan, but it's never something we're going to say no to.
It's still tense. 2 to go.
E-Day's lost a fair bit of time as well. E-Day's getting really caught by this groove. Yeah, this is not over for the race win, but Butcher might have enough here.
It's
They
Speaking
can't
of
do
team
team
orders throughout
orders.
race 1,
No, they can't.
it'll be
They're
brave.
too close.
It will be brave.
No, they're too close. Thompson is not dropped off as much as we thought he would. He's now going to attack Butcher. This might help E-Day.
Is he going to outbrake him?
Oh, Butcher's so late on the brakes.
Butcher being team player definitely there.
Oh, I'm not so sure Butcher will want that win as much as E-Day will, as much as Thompson and Webber will. Webber's done
Lap
very
and a half
well
of goodness to
getting
go.
fourth. Oh, Webber on the outside of
Lammers
Thompson.
around the edge of Thompson.
Yeah, Webber's got it. He might even have Butcher going into the next
But
corner.
is he though? Here comes Thompson to the inside for the final turn. There's enough of a space right there, but it's not been given to him. I mean, why wouldn't you defend third place if you're on a mission
Right,
from
lap
Bavaria?
to go. Look at how close it is all the way down to 8th, I can see there.
American orders will be very happy with this, as are we right now. Lap to go, top 8, all in the same shot with Ingram starting to fall back a little. He's claimed, well, unless something really ridiculous happens, that's the privateer win right there.
Well, let's see if Butcher goes for E-Day into this corner. Best
They
possible
were
chance for him to
close.
overtake right now.
They were
Here he
close as we
comes.
saw a glimpse of
Oh,
them.
very
E-Day
close. Oh, he's
has...
had to move out of there. That's going to allow Webber back in.
Now Webber's phone book, he's not on the outside right now to make that move, so the gain is not there. But
hasn't got
could
quite
this be?
enough.
So
E-Day, where
Palou's
you
not
going,
gonna.
mate?
Yeah,
Butcher, where you want to go? E-Day.
Palou's not going to be far or close enough to cause trouble, but E-Day could cause trouble. Well, Butcher could cause trouble as well, as could Webber. Where's Webber in this shot? Too far
Close
back.
enough.
What a day for Toyota. E-Day in the lead, with Butcher second. Toyota 1-2. Message received and understood. Hopefully. Ingram 9th privateer. Schneider with P10. She maintains third position in the championship. Butcher
Sala
is
was
definitely
quite
up
close
to
at the end there as well.
second after that race. Toyota overall up to P3, having a poor season, despite this now being his second win. He had one earlier, but up until this point, we kind of did not expect that from Toyota all weekend, did we not, Christian?
No, I mean, to be fair, they started quite far back. They just seem to have found the pace, possibly down to the weather. I mean, the temperatures were clearly rising. The track rubbered in very nicely for them, so...
And with the privateer win, still leading the privateer championship as well. Congratulations, Swinny, on Ingram's performance.
Thanks, but we didn't get the privateer win. Olivier Dumas finished in front of us in the DHL Alpha. So we'll take second, though.
Whoops. But you're still leading the privateer championship by 3 points
Well,
from
yes,
the
that's the
Tamiya
important
team.
bit, isn't it?
And that means that there are 3 separate double winners. We got Wirtz with 2, Ayala with 2, Butcher now with 2, but Webber still leads the championship after his performance there, and BMW still topping the team championship as Honda gets second. And well, I think the championship will have to review how this weekend came about, because it seemed to be a much more popular affair than last year, where Blue Moon Bay, yes, there was a crowd, but as you can see, the crowd is still here watching the celebrations of Toyota. How was the weekend for you there, Christian?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly really exciting for both races. Not really a formula they're going to be able to keep repeating, though, unfortunately. I think it was just simply as we mentioned, track rubbering in, drivers who were originally quite slow during qualifying turning out for the race.
And then finally, Swinny, would you want the championship to come back here next season, despite the plans to alternate? Perhaps we're supposed to be going back to Blue Moon Bay for season 4, but this has been an absolute staple, I reckon.
This has been a lot of fun. I have heard rumblings about potentially going to Road Atlanta and potentially going to Laguna Seca. It's in addition to entertainment factor, we also have to factor in costs. Going to the West Coast is just that little bit more expensive for us. So East Coast is definitely more preferable from a team owner's perspective.
And as we see some of the rabbits are straight on, I think they've timed it well, as will we close off the weekend then. Where are we off to next, Sweaty?
I believe it is Deep Forest in
Back to
Switzerland.
Switzerland. And that was a good weekend last time by. First time out for them. Hopefully, they've managed to get some of the traffic problems sorted from last year. And we hope to see you there. On behalf of Christian Shepherd and Michael Swinnerton, it's goodbye. Good racing, everyone.